How exactly did you start Undugu?
So Undugu was started really for myself. So I kind of back up. So I was 39 years old, about to hit 40. And that year was just really rough for me in terms of internally and emotionally. I was in a space where all the things that society told me would lend itself to being successful if I did these things, I had done it, right? And so nice house, nice car, own a business, wife, kids, all these checks that society told me, if you make this check, you are successful, you should be happy. And for me, 39 hitting 40, I had checked all those boxes. And I was still depressed. And it's funny, I didn't even have the words. I couldn't even articulate myself in the manner I could right now because I hadn't done that work. And my wife noticed that I wasn't myself that year. And so she flew me out she surprised me, her and my family surprised me on my 40th birthday, woke me up literally at 4 o'clock in the morning, like, happy birthday, Jermail, happy birthday, Jermail. We got you a flight to go to Bali at the time. Brother Lewis, Brother Lou, he was living out in Bali at the time. He had this stint where he was just traveling from country to country for a number of years, just to not come back to the United States. And I went out there and spent like a week out there with Lewis. And I always say, me and Lewis, we always had a solid relationship. Always had great conversations. But it was something about that time we spent out in Bali. We really just got deep and really started talking about things that Black men just don't talk about. As far as my experience, everything from depression, divorce, just everything that we have been going through, how we were raised, how that impacted us as adults now. And I remember coming back to the States, my mindset was the surface conversation I normally have with brothers, they no longer serve me, right? You know how brothers, how we talk, hey, what's going on? Everything's good. We typically only talk about sports, money, or women, right? In all real surface conversations. And my thought process was, every time I come in contact with a brother who I know, have respect for, and we have open dialogue, instead of saying everything's cool, I'm going to be honest, remove my armor, and start talking about some of the things that I'm going through, some of the real things I'm going through. In the first 10 minutes I spoke to, man, everyone was like, man, it's crazy it's crazy you're sharing this with me because I'm dealing with dot, 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 whatever dot, dot, dot they were dealing with at the time. And I knew then, and these are, like, to be clear, these are men, right? These are men that are successful in their own right. These ain't no scrubs, brothers that are just doing nothing with their lives. These are very successful, well-to-do brothers. And after hearing this pattern, I was like, man, like, brothers are really struggling. No one's talking to one another, but we're all going through the same things. And so before Undugu even had a name, I had a conversation. It was November 29th of 2018. We met at the gathering spot here in Atlanta. Had about 25 brothers show up, and we just had this powerful dialogue. We had what we now know as Undugu. And the next morning, I got like 2 or 3 phone calls from brothers like, man, that was one of the most powerful conversations I ever had in my life. I was able to go home and share some things with my wife that I wouldn't have normally shared. And that was kind of like the first thing, like, oh, wow, damn, like, this kind of work. Like, brothers they really enjoy kind of sharing. Maybe 6 months down the road, Brother Lewis ended up coming back to the United States, living in California. And we had another brother named Maurice who was another founder who was kind of going through his thing. He had just lost his father. And we kind of formed this thing called Undugu, right? Got a legalized 501c3 nonprofit. And I tell you initially Undugu, a lot of people don't know this. Initially, Undugu was going to be just kind of a space where we would get brothers together and we would travel, right, and go to these foreign countries and have these powerful conversations. And I think we wanted to do that because that was the experience I had with going to Bali. And what we quickly realized is you're not going to get a group of brothers to fly, international to have conversations when they don't know you, right? And so it's like, okay, well, instead of us putting this word out and trying to get brothers to travel, let's just start having conversations inside of my wife and I's tea shop. And start off with like 3 or 4 brothers, and started quickly growing like fire, man. Like, more and more brothers would tell more and more brothers, and we really started doing this thing. And then 2020 happened. March 2020 happened, COVID. And, you know, you've been in this space. It's just something about being inside of the same room, feeling that energy as a black man is really talking about some of the things that they're going through. And while we did our best to keep Undugu going in that same energy virtually, it just wasn't the same, right? So we was holding a lot of sessions. We were doing other things. I mean, we started doing like fitness challenges just to keep brothers motivated. You know, so many people were going through so many things, but it just was not the same Undugu feel. And during that whole time, you know, life started to change for a lot of brothers. So Brother Lou started doing other things. Brother Maurice, he got this great opportunity to move to Chicago to create this Amazon business, which is extremely successful. And for a while, it was really just kind of me. A lot of the board members, you know, just life was happening in real time, right? And for a while, it was just me trying to do these things. And I have to be honest, like, I even started losing momentum. Like, I don't even know if this is worth it. And I give so much credit to our brother Mario, because you know, me and Mario at that time really started linking up. And for a while, this brother was like, "Nah, like this is important. Like we need to do this." And he kind of he carried the torch during a time where the torch felt too heavy for me, to kind of give me a little rest so I could pick it back up and continue to move it. And yeah, so that's really how kind of Undugu started. Just really out of necessity, you know, me having my own challenges and feeling like I couldn't talk to anyone about it.